All right. Man, I don't know how to get beside this guy. Me and this guy we've been running in and out for the last few years, but lately here, the last year, we've been like sidekicks. But we having our big 3-day weekend. It's going down. We've been doing it for 50-something years. We've been doing this street festival since '85. If you don't know about it, you should know about it. You should be coming to party with us all night, 3 days, going down.
3 days, man. And you
3 days.
I see from what I noticed, and this is a major city just like Detroit, but you got a lot of support from the police department. And I mean, I'm not using race, but I see it's a lot of black officers out here supporting the event. They're down here, problem-free, helping with traffic, blocking off the streets and everything. How did that come about? What's your role with community policing?
Community, we hooked up with the councilman back in '85, and I was the business manager of the club at the time. And me and the councilman were real close. I got with the councilman. But the police officer is bikers, and they've been on our side. So we've been had Cleveland police, biker riders, been supporting us. The councilman, he wasn't a rider, but he been supporting us. So we've been doing this since '85, first street festival. And believe it or not, the street festival came from, we used to go down, what I did, went down to the lower part of Ohio. They used to have one of the clubs down there. They used to do races in front of the clubhouse. I can't think of the club now. It'll come to me. But they used to block off the street, and when they used to use drag strip racing. So when I seen that, I brought it back to my club. I said, let's block our street and do a street race. We supposed to race from 116 to 110th. We pulled a permit to race. But when soon we did that, the store across the street blocked it. So when they blocked it, we had to go back downtown to get it again. We pulled the permit, they blocked it the first year. So they stopped us from having the street racing, but we ended up having the street festival. That's how the street festival started. But when we was trying to do it, damn, it almost came to me. But we was planning on having street racing from 116 down to 110 on miles, drag strip. We still got the tree in the shop back there. Well, we were going to block on the street, because that's what they should do. They should race down Studentville, Ohio, in front of their clubhouse. That's what they did, street racing. And that's what we was trying to do here, but it didn't happen, but we ended up doing the street festival. And it's been a beautiful thing over the last couple of years, since '85 to now, the street festival, giving back to the community, to the young kids. We give away bikes and all that, games and stuff. So it's been a beautiful thing in the club, dealing with the club, giving stuff back to the neighborhood, and we've been able to continue doing this over the years.
So this Mystic Nights is a family club.
It's a family club.
Okay. Now how does that work out, man? Motorcycle club, family, Christmas dinner, motorcycle arguments.
Yeah, you have all that.
How does that work out, man? What's the dynamic?
Well, the dynamic, all I can speak on from my past experience. I can't speak on nobody else. When I joined the club, my father was in the club. He was the president of the club. I joined the club following behind my father. And I brought my brothers and everybody else involved. He brought us all in. So it was a family thing. Everybody else in the club brought their family in. So it was basically a family thing. And I always tell anybody who come to the club, I always say it. You pick the club that you can deal with your family. Because if one thing about it, the club take up a lot of your time. So you don't want to join a club that your family can't be a part of, unless you don't want your family a part of it. Because if you can't mix the two, then you have to, it ain't gonna be good.
No, it ain't gonna be good at all.
Either you want the family out of it, or you want the family in it.
Absolutely.
But thing is, with me and my experience with it, if your family are part of it, you can stay a lot longer. That's when I've been in this club 38 years. Because if I had a club, I was involved, my family wasn't part of it, either I was going to be with my family or I was going to be without my family.
Right, so it just works out better to
You
have
have
it where
to
you can
be
enjoy the
with the
club
and
with
your family.
Okay, that's cool, man.
So that's the first thing you do when you join any club. Because if you won't separate it, one ain't going to last.
No, one ain't gonna last, man.
You know.
Now, here go another question, man. Probably the last question I need to ask you, man. In the bike world, on the set, what is one of the few things that really irks you, really annoys you, really pisses you off on the bike set? Come on now. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Well, all I can say, the new generation, when I came around, we had to fit in with the older generation.
Okay.
They groomed us. The young generation don't want to listen. They think they supposed to teach us instead of us teaching them. And that's kind of ignored me because the, my club, they got to let us teach them. If not, they can't be a part. The clubs allow the new members to come in and take over and not learn from the older members. That's where the clubs is out there. You know, they can't control their members. The older generation can't control the younger generation. Club ain't gonna last
No, it ain't gonna last.
because
man.
they don't have the respect.
Right. So that's one of the that's one of your pet peeves. That's one of your irritations, frustrations. Okay, yeah, I'm just asking various different people that one thing on the bike set that really gets to you, man.
Well, and nothing get to me. Motherfucker called me old school, and when I come around, I was the young motherfucking generation. These motherfuckers called me old school, but then when I sit back and think, I am old school, but I don't feel like I'm old school. Cause I gotta run all these motherfucking young motherfuckers. But the thing is, it's about the respect. You got to respect where you coming up behind. Once you respect that, then you make you a better person out of it.
That's cool. That was good. That was good. I know you was all scared and shaking.
Scared for what?
Scared and shaking. You got that camera on, you scared like, oh, let me be politically correct around here.
Nah,
Let me think
the right
my words.
Right
out.
word. That's about it.